Hi Lucas and Gwen, it's Olivia, the behavior analyst supporting Matthew with his appropriate play skills. Thanks for your collaboration so far, and what great news to hear that he's progressing through the program that we worked together to design and implement. So as we determined before we began that program, aside from Matthew's diagnosis of ADHD, there are no medical conditions contributing to his anger issues. If you remember, before we implemented that program, we conducted a number of assessments to determine the function of his behavior. And that behavior was mostly occurring during playtimes with his younger brother. So what we ended up concluding was that Matthew was actually engaging in the aggressive behaviors to obtain attention from either of you. And together we designed a play program to address this. So the appropriate play program has been effective in reducing those aggressive and expressive outbursts when supervision is present. Now that he's consistently playing appropriately with Mark under your supervision, the next step is to fade yourselves out of the treatment plan and to teach Matthew how to monitor his own behavior and reinforcement schedule. This was your ultimate goal when we designed this program, as teaching Matthew to self-monitor will help to generalize the skill across a variety of settings and peers. So again, we'll use that BST model, the Behavior Skills Training Model, that we previously used with the implementation of the program. The twist here is that you're going to use this model to train Matthew. So in the training session coming up, I'm going to teach you how to teach Matthew how to self-monitor and self-reinforce his appropriate skills. Okay, so this may seem familiar to you, which is great. And again, we're going to go through those 4 steps of the BST model. So first, I'm going to provide you with some verbal instruction. Then I'm going to model the program for you. Then I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to practice it back and forth with each other. We'll provide some feedback, and then we'll go from there, all right? Okay. So the article that I sent you by Stommer and Schreiber looked at teaching 3 children with a diagnosis of They looked at teaching 3 children with ASD to self-monitor their own appropriate play skills in an unsupervised setting. So although Matthew has a diagnosis of ADHD and not ASD, his behavioral outbursts are actually comparable to those clients in the study. And the results from the study were really promising, as there was an increase in appropriate play for all participants, and those new skills maintained into different generalized settings and with new materials. So let's move on to the training, okay? In the instruction phase, first we're going to have Matthew actually wear the motivator himself, and that's going to cue the end of the interval and when the token is available. So the interval will begin at 3 minutes, and this time was selected as Matthew's currently receiving the reinforcement at 5 minutes from you guys, and we wanted to pick a time where he's likely to have the high success rate. So the program will be conducted in the same manner as his current play program, and with the main difference being that Matthew actually is providing his own tokens rather than you guys. So when the timer goes off, Matthew's to place a token onto his token board if he's played appropriately for that whole interval. So wait approximately 2 to 3 seconds. If he hasn't given himself a token, you can prompt him to do so. And as we found out in this play program, gesture prompts have been really effective, so I suggest starting there. Okay? If Matthew engages in inappropriate behavior at any time during the interval, the timer is to be reset and a token not provided. So again, wait 2 to 3 seconds to see if Matthew will reset the timer on his own. If he does, great. If he doesn't, we can remind him, okay? And then you're going to record on the data sheet. So this is the one that I have right here for you. You're going to record here whether Matthew played appropriately in that interval, and then you can do a check mark. And then you're going to record whether he's correctly self-monitored. So did he remember to reset the timer, or did he actually give himself a token when he deserved it? All right? So now I'm going to go through and model it with you. Okay, Matthew, it's time to play. You've been doing such a great job playing with Mark that I'm going to let you be in charge of the timer and your tokens. So when you feel your timer go off, if you played appropriately, you can give yourself a token. If you do not play appropriately, though, we need to reset the timer, okay? And we can start again. So we're going to troubleshoot a little bit. If Matthew played appropriately for the whole interval, but forgot to give himself a token, again, wait 2 to 3 seconds. Provide a gesture prompt over to the tokens or the token board, so with like a point. And you can, and then you can say, that's it, Matthew. You give yourself a token when you play appropriately. Then for your data, you would check that he played appropriately, but then you would put a minus for that he remembered to correctly self-monitor, okay? And then on to the next part. If Matthew did not play appropriately at any point in the interval, again, Wait 2 to 3 seconds. If he doesn't reset the timer, then we can go with the prompt. Okay, Matthew, remember, we need to play appropriately with Mark to get tokens. Please reset your timer and try again. Again, we're going to record the data. So whether Matthew played appropriately, in this instance, it's going to be a no. And then depending on whether he reset the timer or not, you would either do a plus or a minus, okay? And now I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to practice this with each other. Each of you can take a turn being the trainer. Each of you can take a turn being Matthew, and we'll provide some feedback on your rehearsals, okay? As usual, contact me if you guys have any questions. Good luck with this phase of the program.